All right, guys. So, in honor of Mother's Day being this weekend, I wanted to share with you guys a process that I went through when I started my healing journey over 5 years ago, healing from my childhood trauma, parental rejection, a lot of the things that I went through as a child. And one of those process or the things that I did in order to heal my trauma that came from the parental rejection from my mother was that I told myself that whenever I was going to have a negative thought or criticize or hate my mom for the things that she didn't do or did do to me as a child, I was going to choose one thing that actually helped me throughout my life. And so this was a process that I went through, and I really think it really did help me heal that trauma from my mom and help me kind of come to a state of not hating her and being able to forgive her for the things that she couldn't do for me. And I'm going to focus on the first thing, and the first and most important thing for me was that she helped me have and start my faith in God. We grew up Catholic, so it was like, church every Sunday, and baptized in the church was just really crazy to think because I lived a really crazy childhood, but yet we still went to church every Sunday, and we did. My mom was very much a big believer, si Dios quiere, oraciones, prayers, and all of that. And so that was one thing that she instilled in me as a child, and I carried throughout my life. And was going to be the only thing that actually helped me get through all of the trauma that I would experience while I lived with her and after I lived with her, when I went into foster care and things like that, losing a brother and things like that. And that was by far one of the most important things that I have in my life. And so for that, I thank her, and I thanked her because without that, I would be weak. I would not be who I am. I would not have gone through all the trials and tribulations that I went through without my faith. And so I found ways to forgive my mom by finding things that I could thank her for instead of just focusing on the negative. So if you're someone who just started your journey, or maybe you've already done this, share with me ways that you were able to thank your mom, even if you had a bad childhood. So, and if you haven't done that, I encourage you start with one thing. It doesn't have to be a multitude of things. It's just one thing. Start with one thing that you can thank your mom for, no matter how bad your childhood was for. And you don't have to say it out loud. You can just write it down. Like, that's how I started. I wrote it down in my journal, and it really was just one thing that I started with. And so write down the first thing. Like I said, for me, the first and most important thing that I'll share with you guys was that she taught me how to have faith in God, and I carry that throughout my entire life to be able to get through any trouble that I've gone through. And that for me was the most important lesson that I learned from my mom, regardless of the childhood that I had. So if you're willing and able, please share with me some of the things you've done, some of the ways or the good things that you've thanked your mom for, even if you had a bad childhood. And if you haven't got there, I encourage you to start this process and share with me if you do. All right, guys, hope this helps.